Hey everyone, welcome back. Have you ever felt just, well, completely worn out by all the pressure to stay positive all the time?
Oh, absolutely. That constant push to manifest your dreams or just believe, it can feel a bit forced sometimes.
Right. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into a book that offers something really different, maybe even a bit freeing. Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Feck.
Ah, Manson, yeah.
It's basically a direct challenge to a lot of that conventional self-help stuff.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to unpack it, look at its core ideas, and, find those really surprising insights that make it resonate so much.
It really does stand out, doesn't it? In a, let's face it, very crowded genre.
Totally.
And I think what makes it so distinct is just how honest it is, like brutally honest. It doesn't sugarcoat things.
No, not at all.
It just strips away all those feel-good platitudes you often find, and somehow that makes the message even more powerful, I think, more real.
Okay, so let's get into the core philosophy then, because it's pretty foundational. Manson talks about this idea that we all have a limited number of, well, fucks to give,
Right,
a finite budget.
right, the fuck budget.
Exactly. And importantly, this isn't about being indifferent or, apathetic. It's actually the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
It's about being really selective, really discerning, choosing where you actually invest your emotional energy, your mental focus.
Which is your most valuable resource, really.
Totally. And then consciously letting go of all the other stuff,
Yeah.
the noise.
And what's so fascinating about that fuck budget idea is how it completely flips the script on chasing happiness.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, instead of aiming for this constant state of like bliss, which is unrealistic anyway,
Right.
Manson argues that real growth, actual fulfillment, comes from embracing the struggle, accepting life's, limitations, the difficulties, even the pain.
Which sounds counterintuitive at first.
It does. But it's this sort of unvarnished truth he presents. It cuts through,
Yeah.
suggesting happiness isn't about not having problems. It's about finding better problems to engage with, problems you actually want to solve.
That shift right there,
Yeah.
from no problems to better problems, that's where it gets really interesting for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he delivers it, the book's honesty, it just clicks.
Yeah.
Feels less like a guru talking down to you and more like advice from that one friend who isn't afraid to tell you the hard truths.
Totally. That brutally honest friend. Yeah.
Uses that raw humor, that sort of bluntness,
Yeah.
and it makes the message memorable. It sticks with you.
And that kind of radical honesty, it leads straight into this really fresh take on what happiness even means.
Yeah.
Manson basically says, look, problems are just part of life. They're unavoidable.
Yeah, that feels true.
So true happiness doesn't come from trying to dodge them all the time. It comes from actively engaging with them, from solving problems that actually matter to you.
So it forces you to ask yourself a pretty big question then.
Exactly. What's your relationship with adversity? With difficulty? Do you just automatically shy away from discomfort?
Which most of us probably do, instinctively.
Right. Or can you learn to face it more strategically? Can you choose the battles, the problems that are actually worth your limited energy?
And if embracing problems is step one, then step two seems to be about how we define those problems
Yeah.
through our values.
Precisely. This is where he really makes you, the listener, kind of look inward. You have to reevaluate your priorities.
It's a bit confronting.
It can be. Are you putting that finite energy, that FEC budget, into things that genuinely matter in the long run? Like meaningful relationships, your own growth, finding purpose.
Or maybe draining it on stuff like chasing status, constantly seeking approval from others, or just accumulating material things that, well, they don't really satisfy.
And he's really good at making these big, sometimes heavy ideas feel accessible. He uses these very relatable stories, these blunt, sometimes funny examples.
Yeah, the examples are great.
It keeps you hooked, even when he's tackling some pretty deep existential stuff. Makes it easier to digest and remember.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about some of the really practical, actionable takeaways.
Uh-huh.
The nuggets of knowledge you can actually use from this deep dive.
Yeah, definitely. For me, one of the biggest lessons is just internalizing that your attention, your energy, it's finite, it's precious.
So it's more than just saying no.
Oh, much more. It's about consciously, almost ruthlessly, prioritizing where you invest those frecs. Like building a really strong filter for all the noise life throws at you.
Uh-huh.
Making sure your energy aligns with your actual core values, what truly matters to you.
And if that's lesson one, it flows really naturally into what I see as lesson two, actually embracing struggle,
Mm-hmm.
which again kind of goes against the grain of all that think positive stuff we hear.
Right.
Manson really pushes you to see that growth doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when you choose better pains, better struggles.
The idea that problems don't actually disappear?
Exactly. You
Yeah.
don't just vanish.
Yep.
You level up. You get to choose more significant, more meaningful challenges as you grow.
Which completely reframes how you might think about success, doesn't it?
It really does. Okay, so what's another key lesson?
I think the third one is huge. Taking radical responsibility.
Okay, unpack that a bit.
Manson's point is, even if something bad happens to you, something that genuinely isn't your fault.
Right, like bad luck or someone else's action.
Exactly. It's still your responsibility to decide how you're going to respond to it, how you're going to deal with the situation.
So it's not about assigning blame.
Not at all. It's about recognizing your own agency, empowering yourself to shape your response, shape your path forward, no matter what life throws at you. It puts you back in the driver's seat.
That's powerful. And maybe the most humbling lesson, but also weirdly liberating.
Let me guess. You are not special.
You got it. It sounds harsh on the surface, right?
A little bit, yeah.
But Manson argues that accepting our limitations, accepting that we're, pretty average in the grand scheme of things, and even accepting our mortality, it can paradoxically make life feel more meaningful.
How so?
Well, it grounds you. It frees you from that exhausting pressure to always be extraordinary, always unique, always achieving something monumental.
It takes the pressure off.
Exactly. And it allows you to find purpose and value in the ordinary, in the everyday connections and experiences.
So if we just kind of tie all these lessons together, the bigger picture becomes clearer. If you're genuinely feeling burnt out by the constant demand for superficial positivity and those cliche self-help tropes,
Which many people are.
right, then this book feels like such a breath of fresh air. It's funny, it's raw, but it's absolutely packed with real wisdom. It guides you towards a life that feels more authentic, more grounded, and ultimately more meaningful.
Because the core message isn't about avoiding problems.
No. It's about getting better at choosing them. It's about learning to focus your limited energy on the right problems, the ones that align with your values and lead to genuine growth.
So wrapping this up then, what does this all mean for you, the listener? I think the real power, the subtle art of not giving a feck, comes from its unconventional, almost rebellious approach.
Definitely.
It's not about chasing this elusive, constant state of happiness that always seems just out of reach.
Which is often superficial anyway.
Right. Instead, it's about cultivating this radical clarity, the sense of purpose that comes from knowing exactly where to invest your finite emotional energy, being truly intentional with your life.
And maybe here's a final thought, something provocative for you to chew on after this deep dive.
Okay, let's hear it.
In a world that's constantly telling us to be more positive, to want more, buy more, achieve more, to strive for this idea of perfection, could it be that selectively not giving a feck about certain things is actually the most radical, the most liberating path towards genuine fulfillment?